We continue our conversation now with Assemblyman John Wisniewski, candidate for governor, and he's running in the Democratic primary. We are going to hold a town hall about the heroin crisis here at Monmouth University, which is where we tape this show. And in doing some research about it, I found out that 36 states, 36 attorneys general from other states, including neighboring Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, have all joined in a lawsuit against the pharmaceutical industry, specifically the companies that make and pushed opioid-based drugs. New Jersey is not part of that lawsuit, which seemed odd considering the governor is so passionate about that issue and made it the preeminent issue of his last year in office. Can you square that? Do you find that strange? Should we be part of that lawsuit?
It is strange, and it shouldn't be 36 states. It should be 50. But as governor, I would make sure it's at least 37 states and have New Jersey join in that. Litigation is an important tool for a state to use to make sure that individuals, companies that might be responsible for a health crisis are held accountable.
The statistics are frightening. In Ocean County alone, one person dies every 43 hours. Beyond what's being done now for this health crisis, do you have a plan that you would implement?
Well, yeah, I do. I think, number one, we have to make sure that we are changing the mindset when it comes to the prescription of opioid painkillers. We see far too many get into circulation. We see far too many people given large doses of opioid painkillers that wind up not being used and then wind up essentially on a black market. We have to have better law enforcement so that we can police that and get those drugs off the street. But there's also another big problem. There's a stigma associated with the opioid crisis. We need to destigmatize it. We need to make sure that all of those people who are dealing with an addiction have an opportunity to get the treatment, and so we have to devote the resources to make sure that everybody who needs treatment is getting it, that we destigmatize it, that we provide the law enforcement resources, and we change the mindset in terms of prescribing opioids.
Is it difficult for a governor to effectively go after the pharmaceutical industry because the state is the home to so many in the pharmaceutical industry?
It's not about going after them, it's about holding them responsible for the behavior that has led to this. But let's make sure we understand what we're trying to get. We're trying to get a solution out of them. And so if we file suit and we can get the pharmaceutical industry to change the way they behave in this regard, if we can get the prescriptions to be done in a different fashion, if we can destigmatize the whole notion of the addiction and provide the treatment options that we need, we have a solution and we have a success. And part of the way you get there is by filing that lawsuit.
I don't have much time left, so I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions on a couple of other issues. Should the state elect its attorney general?
Absolutely. We've seen far too often, at least with this governor, on how the attorney general really takes his cue, her cue from the governor. We're only one of 5 states that that appoint directly from a governor an attorney general. We ought to join the rest of the nation and have an elected attorney general who's independent.
Gambling in North Jersey?
I think the time has passed for that. There was a point in time when Atlantic City was so robust it could absorb extra competition. Now with competition in Pennsylvania and just about every place else around us, putting casinos in North Jersey is only going to hearken a greater and quicker demise of the gaming industry in Atlantic City.
Sir, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
I always
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Assemblyman John Wisniewski, candidate for governor in the Democratic primary. Jersey Matters continues right after this.